My name is Ella Korets-Smith, co-founder and chief business officer at Verica Biotech. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the exciting programs we are undertaking. Verica is the first company to develop and commercialize viral sensitizers to solve real-world challenges facing viral medicines and delivering the promise of these critical medications.
Why are we doing all this? Because we believe that viral medicines hold amazing promise for the future of human healthcare. Viral medicines are biologic entities with medicinal viruses as their key components. These include medicines such as vaccines, gene therapies, and oncolytic viruses. There are very few people today who would not agree that vaccines are critical to the future of healthcare. In the current pandemic, vaccines are most important than ever. We also must remember that vaccines have saved millions of lives and protected many millions more from disease in the past decades. We can argue vaccines are some of the most effective medications ever created. The future of viral medicines lies also in gene therapies, which are now being developed in the thousands for a slew of hereditary diseases and cancers. In the past 5 years, the world has also seen the approval of the first oncolytic virus cancer therapeutic, and there are many additional groundbreaking programs for the treatment of refractory cancers. In summary, there are thousands of companies around the world developing viral medicines, and they constitute a total market of over $50 billion. Though promising, viral medicines have critical weaknesses. Firstly, viruses are complex and expensive to manufacture. Unlike small molecules, which could be made quite simply and by a large number of companies, viruses are grown in live cells, and only very specialized manufacturers could produce these medicines. Viral medicines have a real supply-demand problem. There are over 800 clinical trials currently ongoing involving viruses, and this is anticipated to increase tenfold by 2026. With this kind of growth in demand, experts are predicting a critical supply shortfall, even with additional capacity being brought online, as you can see in the graphs on this slide. Because these are biologic entities, manufacturing of these drugs takes time and is very expensive. Manufacturers rely on the living factories, the cells, to produce the medicine. They also require specialized equipment for growth and scale-up of these cell virus cultures. Manufacturing is indeed the limiting factor in the development and deployment of many viral medicines at scale. Secondly, viral medicines have a challenge when it comes to efficacy. Let's take gene therapy as an example. There are over 500 gene therapy companies globally, having raised $7.6 billion just in 2019. There are thousands of gene therapies currently in development, either in the clinic or in preclinical phases. However, there are only a handful of gene therapies currently approved and on the market. Similarly, there are hundreds of oncolytic virus programs and only one approval to date. Why is that? The very real challenges associated with efficacy of gene therapies are very much related to the challenges of manufacturing. Gene therapies have to work in the living cells of the patient, and these cells are trained to fight viruses. In fact, gene therapies and oncolytic viruses suffer from the inability of the virus to uniformly infect cells or produce a strong and sustained effect because they're often destroyed by the patient's own immune system. Also, because of the immune system, redosing is often not possible. As a real example of this, Valrox from BioInvestor is experiencing this challenge. The program is not currently approved because of the lack of durability of effect. Not launching this product could cost BioInvestor trillions of dollars and eliminate the opportunity for a successful treatment of hemophilia. So it comes down to this. Viral medicines face fundamental challenges due to cellular antiviral defenses, which destroy foreign genetic material and viral vectors during manufacturing and when administered to patients. This fact has been known for years, and people have tried to deal with it in a variety of ways, not yet successfully. We believe Verica has developed a technology to address this fundamental challenge. And from what we have seen from our customers and partners to date, we believe we have something which is industry-changing. Verica is the first company to develop and commercialize viral sensitizers, which we call VSES. These proprietary small molecules make viral medicines grow and work better by curbing cellular antiviral defenses. They do this by transiently altering cell signaling in order to allow the virus to do its medicinal job, such as replicate or deliver a replacement gene or kill the tumor cell. Verrica has an exclusive license to a library of over 100 VSEs identified through a unique high-throughput virology approach. These molecules can be administered at or around the time of viral infection in order to augment the antiviral defenses. The picture on this slide schematically depicts this process for a virus which needs to replicate in order to be effective. Because these molecules are different from one another, they augment the antiviral defenses in different ways, and for this reason are often more effective in combination. Verrica has tested these molecules in a large variety of virus and cell pairings in order to better understand their function. From this understanding, Verrica is deploying VSEs in manufacturing and therapeutic settings. Verrica's business model maximizes the commercial potential of VSEs by taking advantage of the unique functionality of these small molecules and the characteristics of the viral medicine market. To address the very real manufacturing challenges of viral medicines, Verrica has built a VSE manufacturing reagent business. We're working with manufacturers and developers of viral medicines to create formulations of VSEs that increase yield and reduce the cost of goods for their products. These formulations are optimized either by the clients or by Verrica under a service agreement. An example of an optimized formulation created to date is VSE-LV, depicted in the top graph. This formulation has been optimized for transfection-based production of third-generation lentivirus into 93 T cells and consistently generates 5 to 7x increase in yield of lentivirus. With lentivirus being a large proportion of all virus manufactured today, this product could significantly reduce capacity constraint. To address the efficacy challenges, Verrica is developing a pipeline of VSEs which could be combined with viruses to improve their effects as gene therapies of all sorts of indications. As an example of this, the lower graph shows results for Verrica's internal development program, a first-in-class oncolytic virus therapy called VCA-1612. This is an oncolytic virus containing a proprietary VSE formulation and a transgene for a better therapeutic effect against refractory tumors. As shown in the lower graph, VCA-1612 improves transgene expression in animal models by over tenfold, which leads to a greater therapeutic benefit. Deploying VSEs in both contexts maximizes the commercial potential of the technology as well as improves efficiency of its development by Verrica. I want to now tell you a little more about the VSE manufacturing reagent business. Today, this business is revenue generating, which is in itself unique for a relatively young biotechnology company. With our current models, we project revenues to reach $5 million by 2022. There are currently a number of evaluations of VSE formulations ongoing by both clients and Verrica on behalf of clients. These evaluations create a low barrier to entry and allow clients to become familiar with the technology. We anticipate these evaluations to start converting into supply agreements in 2021. By year 2024, we anticipate exponential sales growth. As clients complete evaluations and begin to include VSEs in their manufacturing processes, we anticipate a progressive volume scale-up through later clinical phases and into commercial production. Since these molecules will be a part of the product manufacturing process, we anticipate the revenues to be long-lasting and sticky. Now let's talk about the VSE therapeutic product pipeline. Verrica's internal development programs are focused on VSEs, which could be used in therapeutic applications, with the first application in the OV cancer field. As mentioned earlier, VCA-1612 is a first-in-class oncolytic virus therapeutic to treat injectable tumors. This program is being developed by Verrica through pre-IND and IND-enabling studies. Based on current interest in oncolytic virus approaches by Big Pharma, we believe this will result in a value inflection point for the program. The current development plan puts the program in the clinic in Q3 2022. Prior to this inflection point, Verrica will evaluate strategic options for VCA-1612. If this is a partnering event, we believe the opportunity will be lucrative based on the comparator deals, averaging in value at $150 million for a preclinical asset. Verrica will also evaluate opportunities for future co-development partnership for additional therapeutic assets, including VSE molecules in areas such as gene or cell therapy. Verrica's executive team is experienced at building and growing hypergrowth companies. CEO and CSO Jean-Simon Diallo brings a strong foundation of science to the company, having discovered VSES in his academic lab nearly 10 years ago. Executive Chair Ken Newport has grown a service business from 2 to 650 people and sold it, as well as having funded and run numerous therapeutic companies. As Chief Business Officer, I have over 15 years of experience building partnerships and closing deals in the fields of regenerative medicine and biologics. The complementary skill sets of the team and experienced advisors surrounding Verrica are strong indicators for success of the company. Verrica has raised the seed round of investment to initiate our work and is now launching a Series A round totaling $5 million US. The use of proceeds will include product development and operational support for the VSE manufacturing reagent business, which requires short-term cash prior to significant revenue generation. Verrica will also conduct IND-enabling product development for VCA 1612, with the IND filing slated for Q3 2022. The company will also seek additional partnerships for co-development over the coming 12 to 18 months. Verrica's current patent portfolio has 5 patent families and key patents granted in major markets. We will continue to screen and validate VSEs for additional applications in order to continue the growth of the IP estate. Thank you again for the opportunity to introduce Verrica Biotech. If you have any questions or interest in our products or the investment round, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on the email that I provided on this slide. I look forward to meeting you virtually and in person.